What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KingDow with another installment of the music video breakdowns. Today, we're going to be breaking down my song Vivo. Vivo, moving in faster, animal, character flat. I dropped this back in 2020. Literally, this was recorded a month before the pandemic and the whole world stopped. It was pretty wild, and this was also around the time. So okay, this was like we recorded this music video Vivo. The videographer I was working with at the time, his name is Connor. Connor is someone that I met during the ciphers. So to give you some quick backstory, so the era of my time all the way up until Allergy, I was on the scene out by myself, solo dolo with my band. You know, I was doing cold emails. I was out putting us on different bills, like at like Tim's Tavern, at Snohomish, like coffee shops, stuff like that, and just going out and playing at different places, putting together my own stuff. All that meant was like I wasn't really running into like-minded artists, hip-hop artists, any of that. I was usually just put onto random bills with people, and I would get lucky if I ran into a kind of hip-hop artist, but like it wasn't really enough to like stick. So back in towards the fall/winter of 2019 was when I started to get plugged into the hip-hop scene. Shout out to Spencer, someone who Retro is his street name, a guy who's very connected, reached out to me via Snapchat. I went to a cypher that was happening at the old Black Lab back then. It was at the smaller venue off of Hewitt in Everett, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's where I met a lot of artists, and yeah, the rest was history. And that's where I met Connor too, is the point. Connor was a videographer slash DJ that I met at one of these ciphers, and so he and a bunch of other people invited me to his cabin. He lives, I don't know if he lives there now, but he was living at a cabin up in Everett with a bunch of other artists. And this was around the time where me and some other collaborators, whatever, we were doing podcasts at this cabin. We were working on music. We were just kicking it, having a good time. And so I asked Connor if he was down to make some music videos for me, and he said he was. And so one day we decided to film using his living room in the front of his house. This is when I made my song Vivo, that I want to say shout out to Red, and rest in peace to Redfellow, that he produced for me, or rather he engineered and executive produced for me. The beat was by Dre 808, a drummer friend of mine who lives in Spokane, who's also a producer. He's the one who made the song. And so I recorded it with Redfellow. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, I want to, with this video, just have me wearing yellow and just dancing and just like having like a very like Asian infused type of like Oriental style, you know, was what the song encapsulates, because I'm talking about anime and using references to talk about just being very animated, very focused, and very like, you know, live-like. We shot this song and music video to Vivo at the end of February at his cabin, and it was interesting because while shooting I started to feel myself becoming sick. It was weird. And for those of you who knew about the pandemic happening in the US, it's like everyone kind of got sick around the same time, or at least that's what it felt like in Washington, in the city. A lot of people I felt like I just got super sick like during that shoot, but I just kept going because I wanted to get it done, you know, like, and I'm pretty disciplined, like no matter what's happening with me energy wise, if I'm working, and I'll deal with how I feel later. And I thought it was just like, I was like, okay, I'm probably just coming down with a cold, flu, whatever, but it is what it is. I gotta get this done. Vivo, your boy was literally getting COVID, you know. And we also shot another music video to my song The Lodge that never came out. And why, you ask me, I'm still trying to figure out myself, because this dude Connor just basically ghosted me through the pandemic. I don't know what the hell happened with him. That was supposed to be the other music video. The Lodge was also supposed to be dropped around the same time. But it is what it is, you know. And that's the thing about this industry, is that you run into people who are awesome, loyal, very communicative, and easy to work with, and then sometimes you run into people who are just like, who hold your content and your art hostage. And it's very important that you're able to decipher between the two, because it can definitely make or break your career. And so I learned that now. No hard feelings, Connor. Just never will work with you again. But shout out to you for helping me make the Vivo music video that we're talking about today. So yeah, That was the one and only video that I shot with Connor that is out. It was a lot of fun. Vivo was dope too because the song and music video captured a lot of different online communities. One being a Codebreak stream. Shout out to Codebreak. For those who don't know who Codebreak is a DJ for many different artists. He lives in Arizona. He's DJ'd for Hobson. He's DJ for Abstract. He's DJ for Futuristic. And so when the pandemic happened, that shut down all his shows and stuff he was doing. And so he just decided to create a stream to give back to local artists, and they would just pay $5 to, get their song reviewed and all that stuff. And that was a really cool thing. And I put Vivo on that, and that created like a fan base of people who were really focusing on what I was doing, because between Vivo and a bunch of other songs, people liked my creativity, and they just kept following the process along. I'm glad that I did Vivo. Shout out to Connor for helping me make that music video. There was still something beautiful that came out of it, and I'm very grateful for that. Vivo was never part of album or anything. It was just a single. It was just like a one-off single that I wanted to drop, and it was dope, and I'm glad I did it. And I have other music videos that I've done with Dre 808 that we'll talk about at another date, because I used a lot of his 2019 up until now is when I started using a lot of Dre 808's beats as well, and before actually. His beats were also on my Codes album. But in terms of the music video, that was one of the music videos where Dre 808's beat was very prominent. It has this beat tag. He likes to use a lot of like Asian infused, but also very trap bouncy music as well, similar to Top Hat, but I say a little bit more heavier. So yeah, that one was a lot of fun. I performed that a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite songs that I've made during the 2019 era, going into the 2020. Yeah, it's definitely a fan favorite. So Vivo. Oh, and the name, to give you a quick meaning why I named the song Vivo, V-I-V-O. A lot of people think of the Spanish word vivo, which means love, I believe, but I have this classical book that like talks about Mozart, talks about Bach, all these different classical composers, and in the glossary section that gives you all the different words and classical terms, there's the vivo is in there too. And vivo in the classical sense means to be animated, to be lively. And so I took that word because I liked the way it sounded, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let me think about an anime, right? Anime is very action packed, a lot is going on, all that type of stuff. So I used it in that context. Since vivo means to be animated, I was talking about anime, right? Vivo, moving in action, animal, moving in faster, now we go, you know what I'm saying? There's all anime references, so I just put that into the meaning of the title and the song and the music video and all that good stuff. So yeah, this has been the music video breakdown for Vivo. Thank you guys for listening. Go check it out, the song and the music video, the link down below. Make sure to follow myself, make sure to follow Krazymak, you know what I'm saying? And we'll continue with this journey. Thank you guys again for being a part of the premiere. It means a lot to be able to like chat with you guys and vibe, and just talk about the process both in chat and in video, and just hanging with you guys. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying these breakdowns. Oh, and make sure you follow Dre 808 as well. Super dope producer. And we have a lot more music videos to talk about as well, because he's also done some other stuff for me also. So until the next episode, it's been your boy KingDow. I thank and love and appreciate every single one of you. Until next time.